The playoffs are here, and you can predict the action all the way to the finals with FanDuel Predicts. Predict the spread, the total points, and even the game-winning moments that make the playoffs. Sign up and get a $25 bonus with FanDuel Predicts.
Offered by FanDuel Prediction Markets, LLC, a registered futures commission merchant. 18-plus bonus is non-withdrawable and expires 7 days after receipt. Trading derivatives involves significant risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Manage your activity with their consumer protection tools. Restrictions apply. See terms at FanDuel.com/predicts/bonus-offer-terms.
Sunday morning. With us, well, live long and prosper. We got Dr. Peter Michalos. Well, what are we doing today, Peter, to make us live longer?
Well, today, John, we're going to talk about a very interesting topic. That's something brand new introduced into the human species the last 100 years, and that's microplastics. And you and I have been warning and talking about this for the past few years, but this week, the Environmental Protection Agency has made several announcements and talking about the importance and the complications and problems with microplastics. And they were actually found in a study at NYU in 2026. They found that 9 out of the 10 tumors that they had of prostate cancer had microplastics in them. In addition, they found them in breast and brain tumors as well. And a lot of different toxins not only get through directly, but also indirectly. For example, some toxins like microplastics and even mold toxins like aflatoxins, when animals eat their feed, it has it in it, and the animal takes it, and then we eat that milk or that cheese, and it ends up in our system. The problem with these micro and nanoplastics we're finding out is that they actually have been found, for example, in kidney disease, that they plug up the filtering process of the kidney and can affect someone's creatinine and glomerular filtration rate. So it's like a vacuum cleaner bag, but it's not easy to clean out a kidney once it gets damaged by microplastics. The other problem is, and something I coined a new word, and I call it micro and nano sludge found in small capillaries and circulation. That, think about it, that the bloods, we have 60,000 miles of highway of blood, vein, arteries, and capillaries. But when it goes to the end capillary, they're tiny. Just one red blood cell at a time gets through. But some of these microplastics get into these things, and they probably cause these micro ischemia or lack of blood flow to certain parts of the body, like the legs, the arms, the feet, wherever the smallest vessels are. In addition, everything gets recollected in the lymphatic system, so it's probably getting into the lymph nodes, and they've even found them inside regional lymph nodes. So all this generates inflammation. Inflammation generates hormone disruption and potentially cancer. So it's a real problem. Now, how do we reduce it? Certain seafood, for example, shrimp, has been found to have a lot of microplastic. Oysters, mussels, clams, and other shellfish, because they're
a lot of microplastics in shrimp.
Yeah, because they are filter feeders. So they've been finding a lot in shrimp, oysters, mussels, clams, and other shellfish, and they filter large volumes of water, so they accumulate plastics in their tissue. Shrimp in particular have been identified with some of the highest counts of microplastics per servings. And certain fruits and vegetables, especially they found in the root vegetables like carrots and some apples, absorb microplastics from contaminated soil and irrigation water. And the other one that they found it in measurably was rice. So, of course, we talked about bottled water, that's sitting out in the heat. It's better to have, of course, glass bottled water, but they even found that the plastic rubberized caps on the glass bottle even have some microplastics. So they are there. We need to try to avoid those things like the styrene cups and the heated plastics, like those plastics that they give food on. You better have to have the paper packages instead of the plastics ones. Never put them in the microwave, because then all the microplastics leach. And also having air purifiers, because it can't enter through the air. We talked about the carbon filters, changing them in your car twice a year. In your bedroom, it's good to have a HEPA filter to suck in a lot of these microplastics that get into our lung. And even through our shower water, having a whole house water filter helps. And I even recently purchased a tabletop water filter that is actually made out of glass, which I think might be a better way. So I give even my bottled water, I filter it through into this glass container to take any potential microplastics that might be in the plastic bottles. But this is becoming a problem. Brian Johnson.
Dr. Peter, at what point are people going to think we're crazy?
Well, we're not crazy because they're finding out, and they're finding it in tumors. It generates inflammation. It's an abnormal thing. It's like a dirty vacuum cleaner bag. We're not crazy. Listen, there's no perfect way, but they found a teaspoon equivalent of plastic in people's brains. So it's a real issue, and that's why now we're hearing all these announcements. And if you want to learn more about it, I wrote an entire book chapter on microplastics because it's such an important topic in our new book coming out, The Death of Aging, and more information on it on our X at Death of Aging, because it's such an important topic. And continue listening to WABC to hear more interesting and fascinating things, because we're a big bag of chemicals and we're affected by our environment. We've got to protect the earth, keep the earth clean, our water clean, our food clean, and keep listening to WABC for more healthy living tips.
Well, Dr. Peter Michalos, thank you for keeping our listeners live longer. And I just don't know anymore. There's so many things that we have to worry about. It looks like our technology has driven us to other problems.
Yes, our technology is ahead of our biology, but thank God we have the Cats Roundtable to learn about all these cutting-edge facts and science to keep us healthier.
Thank you so much, and we'll catch up again real soon.
Thank you, John.
Putting off replacing your window treatments because you think it's complicated? At Blinds.com, we spent 30 years proving it doesn't have to be. And right now, our Spring Black Friday sale makes it easier than ever. Whether you want to DIY it or have a pro to handle everything from measure to install, we've got you. Free samples, real design experts, and zero pressure. Just help when you need it. Shop up to 45% off site-wide. Huge savings on doorbusters. Plus a free professional measure now during the Blinds.com Spring Black Friday sale. Rules and restrictions apply.